सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा वसुदेवं सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं हरि ओम कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं Namaste. So we are now beginning our journey into the Bhagavad Gita. Before we begin, can someone recollect anything that we saw last? Yes, please. Yes. Anybody? Something that we saw yesterday.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram ji. Yes. Can someone recollect anything that we saw? So we form the link and move ahead. Yes. Anybody?
We talked about Ved,
Okay, ji.
Rigved, Mahabharat.
Yes, Abhaji. Of the Rigved, Mahabharat, or the relevance of the Gita, isn't it?
Of the Gita, yes.
So whether we are looking at from the historical perspective, looking at it from the perspective of the sanctity of the Vedas or the Upanishads, or we are looking at it from the modern angle, like the researchers or someone who is wanting to implement it in life. It is something which is very invaluable. Bhagavad Gita is very much a part of our lives, whether we like it or not, it is influencing us. Probably we become more conscious of it, we can allow the Gita to influence us better. So we are ready to begin the Gita. Before we begin, let's just look in short. What is the story of the Gita? I think our admin, Chetraji, had shared it in the group. The story of the Gita. Was anybody able to look at it? Can someone recollect anything? Anything about the... Yes, Kalaji. Yes, please. Yes, ma'am.
Arjuna not wanting to fight, he goes to the battlefield, sees all his family, near and dear ones. He says,
Okay.
do I need to go through this? Drops its weapons, and that's where the Gita begins.
So he's all right. So it is with Arjuna not wanting to fight, is what Kalaji is saying. So anybody who is Arjuna? Yes,
Pandava prince.
one of the Pandava prince. Okay, so the children of Pandu were called Pandavas, and how many princes were there? Anyone?
5.
Five. So Pancha Pandavas, the five Pandavas, and who were they battling?
Kauravas.
Kauravas. Okay, Kauravas. Kauravas were,
100.
yes, Indraji? Yeah, anybody? Who were the
Cousins.
Kauravas? Yeah,
Cousins of Pandavas.
cousins of Pandavas, their own family
Yeah.
members. But why were they not called Pandavas if they are from the same lineage?
They were the son of Dhritarashtra, and they were the son of Pandava.
Okay, so Dhritarashtra's children, also called Dhartarashtraha, the children of Dhritarashtra.
Yeah.
Yet they were called Kauravas because they had, all of them had the same one Kuru king, the lineage
Yeah.
of the Kuru. Yet the five Pandavas, by their virtues, by their good nature, by their karma, throughout whatever experience they gave to everybody, they suddenly began to look unique. And that is why they were called Pandavas, though they were technically, they were also Kauravas only. So there are five Pandavas, and how many Kauravas?
100.
A
100.
hundred. 100 or 101 is how people say.
With
Now
Karna.
again, yeah. Okay, so now there's one interesting thing that 5 versus 100. I mean, which is the good side and which is the bad side if you want to look at it in a binary? Because people will debate after studying Mahabharata. Really, this is not like nowadays everyone, even the villains have their own arc and story why they became villains. We're not trying to go into that history. We just want to make it black and white. Uh, Pandavas and Kauravas. So who was, there is like one, if we can just look at it in the side of like a binary. If one side was the right side, which was it? From the
Pandavas were fighting for dharma, and Krishna was with them.
okay,
So they
okay,
were
we
fought.
come to Krishna. Yes, because Krishna was there, we know Krishna will not choose the wrong side, so Krishna has chosen the Pandava side. That's right. So that means the good side had what? 5 people, and the bad side had 101. I mean, is this something we see in life? That good side is always overpowered. Somebody who is standing by what is right, somebody who is trying to be righteous, somebody who is aspiring for something which is not selfish. Do we see that in life also? A similar parallel, isn't it? Yes. And the similar thing, if you look at the symbolism between the Pandavas and the Kauravas, we have what we call Pancha Indriyas, isn't it? Five senses. The five senses are plagued by how many desires? One, two, three? Anybody?
Hundreds of desires.
Yes, Anita ji? Yes, ma'am?
Hundreds of desires.
Hundreds of desires. Yes, in the Gita, we'll see Asha, Pasha, Shatair, Baddhaha. 100 bonds. Or if you study Kathopanishad, you'll see 101 bonds. So there's always a outnumbering of good forces with the forces which are not so constructive. And that is something very similar, a symbolism which is visible in the five Pandavas and the 100 Kauravas. So anyway, let us see what is the fight between these brothers. What is the source of the fight? We may call it Dharma Yuddha, but coming to basic terms or bringing it on paper, what were they fighting for? When I was young,
They
I would.
want throne.
Yes, Rekha ji. Yes, ma'am.
They want villages. They asked for that villages.
Oh, human property.
Yeah, throne.
Okay. Do brothers fight for properties?
No.
No.
It
Or
was for
yes?
the it was for the
Yes,
throne.
yes.
Okay. Yeah, it was greater good, all right. But if we just look at it on paper, it was probably for a very prime piece of property. What was that property? Anyone? We're looking at it just in a neutral manner right now. Because Gita is not yet begun, so we'll just let us assume they were fighting for a property. What was that property? What was at stake? Yes? Which was that throne?
Pandavas asked that 5 villages.
And we'll come to
To
that, Rekhaji. Pandavas did not actually, it was Krishna who went in as a like a good cousin who tells two brothers, don't fight, don't take it to the
yeah.
courts, something like that.
Yes. Yes.
Krishna did intervene, like we see in modern times, but that was in the ancient times. But they were fighting for something. What was that?
Making Yudhishthir king,
Yes, Palakji, I didn't hear you. Sorry, for?
making Yudhishthir the king.
Okay, king of
Hastinapur.
Hastinapur.
Hastinapur. Hastinapur. Where is Hastinapur? Anybody in modern day times?
Near
Near
Delhi, Kurukshetra,
Yeah,
near Delhi.
okay, all property, prime property. So for Hastinapur, and so and even now there is biggest fights of the country still take place there only, no? So for 5,000 years, we're seeing that legacy. All right. So there is this fight going on for. So what is the contention here? What is the contention behind this fight? Why do Pandavas want a claim in it? Why are they taking a claim? Yes, because yeah.
Because Yudhishthir was elder brother and it was his right to be the king.
Okay. So the Pandavas were actually the children of Pandu. There was the history of Pandu being the king. He was in charge, but he passed away. So his brother, who is Dhritarashtra is also blind. Now, blind is unable to see. And but I have a friend who is blind but is a very good journalist. So being blind and not being able to see is completely different thing. Sometimes people have eyes and still don't see, isn't it? That is what Dhritarashtra was doing. He was having what we call attachment. Attachment to whom? Mera ladla beta, Duryodhana. For Duryodhana, he was choosing to turn a blind eye to everything Duryodhana was doing. So by history or whatever, by definition, it was actually he was just a like a caretaker for a while, and then when the Pandus, princes, all the Pandavans grew up, they were supposed to be the kings. But Duryodhana got that taste of power and did not want to let go. Somehow he convinced his father to continue. And this went on, and in the history of Mahabharata, we also see attempts to murders also, isn't it? Duryodhana trying to destroy and kill Pandavas right from childhood. All this has been happening for years and years and years. Yet Dhritarashtra was turning a blind eye. This is the problem of attachment. Attachment prevents us from seeing the truth. I don't think Dhritarashtra ever wanted all of his children to get killed, isn't it? He never wanted any of it. But it was his attachment which made him so blind to do a lot of wrong karma. It kept on accumulating, and ultimately it led to what is this Kurukshetra. So here Duryodhana is in control, Duryodhana is in power, and he is now, after all these attempts on keeping the Pandavas away forever, failed. The exile is over. Pandavas are coming to stake their claim. That time he just says, no, if they are Kshatriyas, let them fight and claim what they claim is their right. Let us go in the old fashioned battle for who is better. Let that be decided through Yuddha. If you see Krishna belongs to Pandavan's side or Kauravan's side?
Pandava
Pan-
side.
Okay, somebody said Pandava's side. Anybody thinks he's also from the Kauravan side?
He was
Yes,
neutral.
he's neutral, isn't it? He's, he's like a cousin. Uh, and does he have any property desire? Or he's
No,
like, he's
no.
himself got lots of properties, isn't it? He was quite powerful himself. He had what we call Narayani Sena. If we want to look at it in modern times, it's like a huge army of everybody is like a sword commando only. Each person is so powerful in that Narayani Sena. And here, as a neutral well-wisher of both the families, he goes in like a proper elder. He goes in and tries to mediate to prevent a war because war is bloodshed. War is never an option. War must always be avoided in life also. We must never try to choose that path. Gita also talks about ahimsa. So Krishna properly followed that principle. He goes and tries his best to convince Duryodhana. He says, these are children of Pandu. They have a dharma. Let them be the Kshatriyas. They don't have any desire. Give them 5 simple villages. Give them 5 villages. They will not trouble you. Let them live. Let them continue. But here the arrogant Duryodhana, he declares, if at all they are Kshatriyas, let them come and claim what is their right. Like a true warrior, I will not give them a needle tip of land also. And then now there is no option. They even went on to try to even arrest Krishna, but that didn't work out well in the Mahabharata. We can study that later. But now there is no option. Krishna returns. He tells, I tried. Now there's no option. He is not willing. And so they decide now war has to take place. Now, generally, people are all, until the war starts, many people are neutral. But once a line of war is drawn, no, you see people shifting sides, people taking sides. Don't we see that sometimes in clashes also? In many times it happens, and something similar happened here. But only in this case of the Pandavas, they were already outnumbered just by the sheer strength of Kauravas. But the Kauravas had also allies, so many of them. So many joined the Kauravan side. If you see, Pandavan side also had allies, but the numbers were so different. There were several lakh soldiers more on the side of the Kauravans than on the side of the Pandavas. But this is normal. I think anytime you set out to do something right, you will face more opposition. This is a great example. From the Mahabharata times it's happening. We don't have to worry that. Anybody knows that Guru Gobind Singh's statement? Sawa lakh de ek ladawa. Anybody has heard of it? No, all right. We'll see later as we go on. I'll try to share it in the group as well later. So come back into the story right now. The Pandavas are outnumbered, but then there is something very interesting happening. The gurus, the elders, the ones who are supposed to be righteous, they have also chosen the side of the Kauravas. There is Guru Dronacharya. Basically, both sides learned how to wield weapons, and Guru Dronacharya was one of the best. Yet he chose the side of the Kauravas. There was Kripacharya. There was Pitama Bhishma. Bhishma was like a juggernaut. Whichever side Bhishma is standing, that side is invincible. And Bhishma himself had such an aura that people would respect him so much. People would just want to get a darshan of Bhishma. They would consider themselves blessed. That Bhishma also chose the side of the Kauravas. Why? Anybody, can you tell me something? If you know why Dronacharya and Bhishma,
Because Bhishma has given
Pratignya, an oath,
uh,
I will
Pratigya.
protect the throne, isn't it? So
Yes,
there is, yes, okay. Have you heard of this word, spirit of the law? In, I mean, advocates use it a lot because the law says something, and there is
Yes.
something called spirit of the law. Anybody? The purpose of the law is what? To help, isn't it? To help everybody, to uphold justice. So the oath was what? To protect the throne. Will Bhishma protect the throne by keeping an unfit ruler on the throne? Is that protecting the throne? Is it protecting the interests of the public? No, isn't it? But here his words have taken precedence over everything. I gave my word, and that is why Mahabharata sometimes teaches us what we should not do. Bhagavad Gita teaches us what we should do. Over personal pledges, everybody got astray. Everybody. There was a time where words were very valued. It is good. But sometimes we should also understand what is the desha, what is the kala, what is the paristhiti. So here Duryodhana is getting the support of even Pitama Bhishma, so who has taken a vow to protect the throne. And so the sides are already stacked against the Pandavas. But everybody is concerned about only one character, Krishna. Which side is Krishna going to take? It's like no matter if two countries are fighting and suddenly one country says, okay, I'm going to use a nuclear weapon. What's going to happen? Immediately, it doesn't matter. No odds change the moment a nuclear weapon is used. And here, our Krishna did possess something like a Brahmastra, the Brahmastra, which was itself like a nuclear weapon. So, wherever Krishna is going to go, that side is going to easily win. There's no point of a war. If you understand, they called it Dharma Yuddha. It was a different type of war, not like the wars that are fought today. There was a rule, there was a law, each soldier would fight, a foot soldier would fight a foot soldier, a charioteer would fight another charioteer, we say Rathi versus Rathi, Maharathi versus Maharathi, Atirathi versus Atirathi. There would be battalions there would be formations, somebody would blow the shankha, people would take positions and then fight. And in the initial part of the war, at dawn, the battle would begin, and when at dusk, it would stop because no unfair advantage should be got. So there were all these rules, and here Krishna was there, and Krishna perfectly declared, he says, I am not going to participate in this war at all. But then again, yes, Kalaji, yes, please.
But during the course of the war,
Yeah.
most of the rules were broken, right?
Yes, that is what Mahabharata is great is an example, isn't it? It teaches us things, what happens afterwards. But if we see right now, the war is not yet over, or it's not in the last stages. It is not yet begun. So that time it was a Dharma Yuddha only.
Yeah.
So now Krishna is not participating. Both sides are either relieved or disappointed. We do not know. But there is again a question. What about the resources that Krishna has with him? Who is going to get that? And Krishna very nicely gives a simple, because whoever Krishna helps, again, that side is going to get immensely benefited. it's going to have an impact on the war. So the question is, whom will Krishna choose? Krishna gives a very simple option. He says, whomever I see first the next day morning can choose. And what can they choose? They have a very beautiful choice. It is like the choice given by Yama to Nachiketas in the Kathopanishad. One side is called the Shreyas, and another side is what is called Prayas, that which is right and that which is desirable. Krishna says, I shall give you either my advice, you can receive my advice. If you value it and you want it, I'm there. I'm there to give you that advice. Or you can take my Narayani Sena. Duryodhana was like, who needs advice? I need Sena only. I'm going to take Narayani Sena. But he said there should be parity. So I will let you choose. I will let you choose. So whomever I see first the next day in the morning will get the choice to choose either my Narayani Sena or my advice. So both Duryodhana and Arjuna go to the bed where Krishna is going to sleep. One person chooses to press the feet of Krishna, another chooses to sit by the head of Krishna. Can someone guess where was Arjuna and where was Duryodhana?
At feet, Arjuna was there.
Yes, yes, Palakji. He was at Arjuna, just at the feet of Krishna. He's like, I'm going to serve my beloved friend, my guide, my friend, a philosopher who has been there all this time. I'll serve him, let whatever happens. He's very humble and sincere. One of the reasons Arjuna is a great character for all of us is because he represents the good of human nature. What is right? He's a moral man. He's a moral man with some ideals and principles. But most of the time, people, principles and morals only suffer like Arjuna also. So he's also the best teacher for us. Many say, if you want to get Krishna consciousness, first cultivate Arjuna consciousness, Krishna will come to you. So here is our Arjuna, sincerely pressing the feet of Krishna. What is Duryodhana doing? He says, I'll be close to his face, close to his eyes. So he just sits very next to the face. Now, normally, unless somebody gets a nightmare, nobody wakes up with a start, isn't it? Looking at the directly when a person wakes up, especially somebody who is like a yogi like Krishna, who will be in Yoga Nidra, he's going to wake up quietly. So, by natural common sense, Krishna opened his eyes and first looked towards his feet, and that is where he saw Arjuna. So, Arjuna got to choose. And you see, look at Arjuna's choice. Arjuna was outnumbered by several, we can say, lakhs of soldiers in the Kauravan side. He could have easily taken the Narayani Sena. But no, he says, Krishna, I need you. Krishna, give me your counsel, and I can take part in any battle in the world. And so the Narayani Sena goes to a very happy Duryodhana. Arjuna is also happy that he has got Krishna. And then the fight is going to take place. Krishna has suggested the place also because you need to accommodate, isn't it? So many soldiers. Where are they going to fight? So this place is the Kurukshetra. It is a very Pavitra Kshetra. It is the Kshetra where the Kuru king, the first Kuru king, had done so much sadhana, so much tapasya. And there was belief whoever departed in that place would get moksha.
Moksha.
So Krishna had ideally selected this kshetra for the battle. So that is where the battle was going to take place. Now, whenever an issue happens, nowadays, we have some media, isn't it? Reporting, live coverage, what is happening right now. So here, our Duryodhana is going to fight, and his dear father Dhritarashtra is very concerned. What is going to happen? By Vyasa's grace, Vyasa had offered him. He says, I can allow you to identify, to know. I can give what is the Divya Drishti, an ability to see what is happening in the battlefield. But Dhritarashtra has never seen anything, isn't it? Why would he want to see his own kids then getting destroyed? There is somewhere, it is interesting that somewhere Dhritarashtra already knew what's going to happen. We can see those glimpses. If you study the Mahabharata, you'll see those. It is also a clear indication that when the heart is not clear, no, there's always a guilt, there is always a fear. And that is exactly what was there in Dhritarashtra's head. So he says, please arrange for Sanjay. My trusted Sanjay will report everything. And that is how Sanjay gets that Divya Drishti to report what is happening. You can just think of him as a modern news reporter, reporting exactly with unlike modern news channel where you have a lot of masala, he is reporting as it is, what is happening in the battlefield. So that is where the Bhagavad Gita begins. It begins first in the chambers of Dhritarashtra's palace. In that Hastinapur palace, there we see Dhritarashtra sitting quietly in his chamber. All the guards have been sent out, and Sanjay is sitting there, probably with his eyes rolling up in Padmasana. And that is where the Bhagavad Gita begins. That is how we are now entering into the first shloka of the Bhagavad Gita. Atha Prathamodhyaya. Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsavaha Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. The blind emperor Dhritarashtra asked the oracle, gathered together in Kurukshetra to battle, assembled eagerly to prove their mettle. The Pandavas and my Kauravas poised for a fight. O Sanjay, what happened there? Share me your divine sight. I'll repeat it once more. There's a very big hint in this shloka. The very reason why Mahabharata took place or how Mahabharata could have been avoided. Just let us look at it again. I'll read the Sanskrit shloka again and the English one. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yutsavaha mamakaha pandavaschaiva kimakurvata sanjaya. The blind emperor Dhritarashtra asked the oracle, gathered together in Kurukshetra to battle, assembled eagerly to prove their mettle, the Pandavas and my Kauravas, poised for a fight. O Sanjay, what happened there? Share me your divine sight. So, anybody, have you found the hint why this battle is?
My Kauravas.
Yes, Preeti ji has perfectly identified. That is exactly how the Mahabharata has started. See, an uncle will look at kids as kids only. No, brothers' kids are also my kids. That is how a universal thinking should look at. But here he says, Mama Kaha Pandavas Chaiva. What happened between my Kauravas and the Pandavas? So the Bheda has already been created. The father only has planted that seed, and now that seed has grown into one horrible Rakshas. That is what has happened here. If he could have just see the other children also as his own children, maybe this Yuddha could have been avoided. That is why Dhritarashtra is blind. Though he could not see, he was very able. He could fight also. He had the power to rule also. But this main aspect of blindness of Dhritarashtra, it's not just symbolic. It is actually a great meaning and a lesson for us. Let us not create this divide. Do we have to see people as just because somebody is, say, is my own brother or my own sister? Should I have a bias for my brother and sister, even if my own brother or sister is doing something wrong? Should I forgive everything? Or should I just ignore, or what we call turn a blind eye to it? No. If you want a Mahabharata to start, then turn a blind eye, become Dhritarashtra. Otherwise, this is a great principle. Biggest Mahabharatas in life are started because of this only. If you see this, there is a beautiful Sanskrit Subhashit which says, Ayam nijaha paro veti ganana laghuchetasa udara charitanantu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. This person is mine. That person is another. This is the mindset of the narrow-minded people. But those with a broad-minded attitude, they can understand this principle of vasudhaiva kutumbakam. The world is one family. We must understand this principle. This is the principle which is something Krishna is going to teach us later in the Gita also. But in the first shloka, we learn when we stop saying this, we become narrow-minded. And then indirectly, unknowingly, we might be the Dhritarashtras starting new Mahabharatas. So let's continue. Sanjay Uvacha. You're able to hear some background sound, is it? No, no, fine,
No,
thank you.
no.
There's a church nearby which keeps making some sound at this particular time. So it's not disturbing, it's fine. Sanjay Uvacha. Druष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यमुपसंगम्य Raja Vachanam Abravit. Sanjay replied, he is now taking Dhritarashtra and all of us into the Kurukshetra Bhumi only. Directly he is telling us. Seeing the Pandavas' army approaching, King Duryodhana then began speaking. His teacher's attention he sought to invoke to Dronacharya. The following words he spoke. So Sanjay is describing that Pandavan army is now approaching into the Kurukshetra. King Duryodhana, he is now commanding the Kauravas. So he is going to speak. He begins speaking. He seeks to invoke the attention of his teacher, Guru Dronacharya. He say, he speaks the following words. What are the words? Let's look at the words. Let us look at the language of Duryodhana and see if it is a language of a Shishya to a Guru, or is it a language of a commander speaking to someone who is subordinate. Let us look at the next shloka, shloka number 3. Pashyaitam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. O Acharya, behold and cast your glance at the Pandavan army's battle stance. The sons of Pandu and Drupad have thus arrayed. See the battle formation they have arranged. I repeat once more. O Acharya, behold and cast your glance at the Pandavan army's battle stance. The sons of Pandu and Drupad have thus arrayed. See the battle formation that they have arranged. How is this bhava of Duryodhana? What does it convey?
Arrogance?
Yes, isn't it? There is no, it is like, I am the leader. Look at it. Does he have to teach us Guru? See who is coming on the other side. His Guru has himself a great drishti. He can identify the flaws in the most greatest viewer also he will be able to find from far. Yet he is telling, look, some people say maybe he's trying to remind him that these are the enemies. You don't change sides. Because what happened was before the Yuddha, all the Pandavas, though the battle was going to take place, they went and sought the blessings of their own gurus, even if they were on the other side. And probably they had to hold all their control from saying Vijay Bhava to the Pandavas because they were on the other side, because they knew it. They knew it. These are my children. These are the ones who are taking forward my principles and teaching. Yet, because of the attachments, they cannot say anything. Each had a different reason. Bhishma had his pratigna. Ronald had his sons. His son had his future was something he was looking at. Everyone was, they knew who the Pandavas were. But now you see this. Look at the Guru also. He has to now listen to Arjuna, to Dronacharya, to Duryodhana. Guru Dronacharya has to listen to Duryodhana when he says, see, the sons of Pandu and Drupad. Look at these kids of Drupad and Pandu. Look at their battle formation. Rightly said, it is arrogance only. But now even the Guru is now bound. He has to listen. Let us see. He goes on. Atra Shura Maheshwasa Bhimarjuna Samayudhi Yudhano Viratascha Drupadascha Maharatha. Here stand in the battlefield the mighty warriors, the great military heroes and archers. To Arjuna and Bhima, they are equal in skill and might. Yudhana, Virat, and Chief Drupad are all ready to fight. So now, if you see, just look at the shlokas. If you see from the shlokas number 3 to 24 in this adhyaya, no, they are going to just be introducing the various characters. If we go deeper, in some, I think there's a beautiful book called God Talks with Arjuna. There's a symbolism behind each of these characters. that is also being described. But for our purpose of the Gita study, we will not go too deep into the story of the characters. If just somebody wants some details, you will find them in the glossary in the end of these characters who are there. But if you look at it, we will just look at the names, we'll understand them, because throughout the Gita, we will not see anybody else other than Krishna and Arjuna, and of course Sanjay. So these three characters will be the central characters in the study of our Gita. From Mahabharata's perspectives, all the characters are important. From the Bhagavad Gita study, these three characters only: Sanjay, Krishna, and Arjuna. So we'll just brush through these characters. So here he says, Duryodhana tells Dronacharya, he says, see, these are the warriors on the other side. He says, see, there is Arjuna and Bhima, they are great archers, they are heroes. Each of them are, they're not, it's not a weak side, but he first points out all of them. See, this is Yudhana is there, Virat is there, Drupad is there, all of them are ready. All of them are ready to fight. Who else is there? Next shloka. Drishtaketushche kitanaha Kashirajascha viryavan Purojit kunti bhojascha Shaibhyascha Narapungavaha. Almost like he is only the teacher taking a roll call. He is telling the names of everybody on the other side. He says, along with them are also lined the valiant Drishtaketu, the king of Kashi, and Chakitan, and the most brave amongst men, Purujit, Kunti Bhoj, and Shaivya, all warriors brilliant. The next shloka, sixth one. Yudha Manyuscha Vikranta Uttamaujaschcha Viryavan Saubhadro Draupadeyascha Sarve Eva Maharatha. So all of these are not just ordinary warriors. They are Maharathis. Each of them are experts like we have nowadays in different fields, isn't it? We have people do undergraduation, then they do post-graduation, and there are some MPhils, and somebody does a PhD, or depending on there's MS, so different fields. So these are warriors who have advanced. They have become Maharathis. Maharathis had this distinction of having their own battalion, having their own flag also. Each of them had a different flag, though they were under the same banner. They were fighting for one side. They each of them had a very special uniqueness. That is what we see Duryodhana talking. Uttamaja, the strong and the achiever, Yudhamanyu, the son of Subhadra, the young Abhimanyu, also marshaled are Draupadi's 5 warrior sons, all exemplary generals in their own bastions. Each of them are expert in a different vidya of warfare. Each of them are experts, is what Krishna says. Now, he goes on, he says, Asmakam tu vishishtaye tani bodha dvijottama nayaka mama sainyasya sanyartham tan pravimite. O best amongst Brahmins, let me now confide and introduce the great warriors standing on our side, the prominent amongst the generals and leaders who stand ground to lead our armed warriors. He says, now I will tell you who is standing on our side. He has talked about the Maharathis on the other side. Now he says, let me introduce. My question is, does he need to introduce? Did Dronacharya ask for an introduction? Anybody? What is Duryodhana trying to do right now? Yes, anybody?
Is he trying to
What?
convince himself?
Yeah, exactly. He's trying to convince himself and pump himself up. Oh, Chasi, look at all of these. They're nothing. Let's see who we have to beat all of these. So that is how he is trying to do that. And he is basically using his Guru Dronacharya as a kind of like a puppet. He wants him to just reinforce what he's thinking. So here he addresses him. He says, oh, best amongst Brahmins, let me now confide and introduce the great warrior standing on our side, the prominent amongst the generals and leaders who stand ground to lead our armed warriors. Now, here's an interesting word. He's used the word Dvijottama, which can be translated as best amongst the Brahmins. He's a Kshatriya, isn't it, Dronacharya? What is the meaning of this Dvijottama? What is this?
Twice born.
Yes,
Like that.
Vijiji?
Twice
Sorry?
born. Twice
Twice
born.
born. Okay,
I
so
don't know
twice
how
born,
that
but I know
is.
everybody is born once and then they die. So what is this twice born?
I don't know, just the word meaning turned out to be like that.
Okay,
Vijottama.
yes, but what do you think could be? It's right. It's not wrong. What Vijay madam has said is not wrong. But why
Okay.
is it twice born? And best amongst the twice born.
Hmm.
Yes.
Maybe
Jayaji, yes,
both.
sir. You were saying something?
The when the thread ceremony is done, is considered to be the second birth, right?
Okay, so Dvija. Yes. Yes, Yagno Pavitam Pratimacha Shubhram. This is the a new birth takes place. All right. So did Dronacharya perform the thread ceremonies for everybody? Why is he considered best amongst twice born? Why is it called twice born in the anyway? Anybody? Can you just think why? What is the second birth? My second birth took place right after my engineering when I thought everything was hopeless. I met my guru and he gave me a new direction. It was like a new life for me after meeting my guru. So in when it's kind of I'll not say the guru has to decide whether my spiritual awakening has taken place or not, or I'm still inside the shell. But a person, an individual, when the awakening takes place, a new consciousness is born, an individual gets transformed, he becomes changed. That person can be said to be a person who is had his dvija. The action, the ceremony is for creating the second birth, a new consciousness. A person is born, and in everybody's life, a transformation takes place. I think if we look back in our life, also sometimes and some event happens, a significant event happens, and that event gives a new birth, a new direction. Such as the meeting of a guru and a shishya. When a guru shishya meeting takes place, a new birth and new life is got. So this is Dronacharya who has given a new life to not one, not two, several people, several such soldiers. He gave Vidya of the Shastra and Vidya of the Shastra also to all of them. And that is why he is called a Dvijottama. So he says, hey Dvijottama, look now on our side. Who are these great warriors? So anybody having a second birth, a new birth can be called this awakened person, isn't it? Let us all aspire to have that, or if we have already had, let's go ahead in the marga given by our gurus. Let's continue. He says, Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Kripascha Samitinjayaha Ashwathama Vikarnascha Saumadattis Tathaivacha. Yourself. He says you are there in this army. This is very, it's almost comical. Of course, Dronacharya is there. He says, yourself, the mighty grandfather Bhishma, Karna, and the undefeated Acharya Kripa. Each greatest amongst masters, matched by none. Also are Ashwathama, Vikarna, and Somadatta's son. So you are there. Dronacharya is there in this Kauravan army. Then we have grandfather Bhishma. Let's not mistake Bhishma to be some grandfather who is very old and big by age. Bhishma was like a lion. Maybe he had a white mane, but he was a juggernaut. Nobody could stop him. Even the gods would fear him. That was the power. So there is Bhishma, there is Karna. The big debate was already going on. Is he better than Arjuna? That was a skill of Karna. Then there was Acharya Kripa. Kripacharya was there who had never lost a battle. Like you just imagine, never lost a battle. That was his history. He is also standing there. And also there is Ashwathama, there's Vikarna, and the son of Somadatta. Everybody is present. So these are all champion of champions. He says we have enough Maharathis. Then comes the next statement. Just let us look at the statement. Is it worthy of a king? Talking about the people who have come to fight in this alliance. He says, Anye cha bahavaha shura madarthe tyakta jivitaha nana shastra praharanaha Sarve Yuddha Visharadaha. Many other great ones have come to partake, sacrificing their lives to battle for my sake. The advanced specialists of all forms of weapons have come to battle, all of them victors and veterans. I repeat once more. Many other great ones have come to partake, sacrificing their lives to battle for my sake. The advanced specialists of all forms of weapons have come to battle, all of them victors and veterans. Is there something wrong here in what he's saying? Is he right? Anybody? He
It
says,
is not for
Madarthe.
him.
Yes,
It
Vijiji?
is,
Yes, ma'am?
it is not for him that they have come.
Yeah, that's what his understanding is, isn't it? Madarthe tyakta jivita. They have sacrificed their life for my sake, as if he's already declared that they're all going to die for me. And this is what happens here when you are compromised. All of these great ones, because of their attachments, now they're not serving a higher cause, they're not serving a higher purpose. They are serving Duryodhana, and he is commanding all of them. Isn't it? Isn't it a sad sight? Guru Dronacharya being commanded by somebody who's arrogant like our Duryodhana. Well, that is what happens. So attachments, we have to be careful. It's not just for Dhritarashtra. Even Guru Dronacharya can get it. I mean, every single human being must be alert. That is the lesson we must learn. Because somebody who has experienced life also, he can also become vulnerable by attachments. When a guru like Dronacharya can also become. We have to always be on guard. Let's continue. He says, Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhimabhirakshitam paryaptam tvidamete sham balam bhimabhirakshitam. Many other great ones have come to partake, sacrificing their lives to battle for my sake. The advanced specialists of all forms of weapons have come to battle, all of them, victors and veterans. So, not just these. Oh, sorry, I repeated the ninth shloka by mistake. It was aparyaptam tadasmakam. Sorry about that. So, he's talking about Bhishma. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam Bhishma bhirakshitam. Look at the first line. He says, with Bhishma as guardian, our army is unmatchable, peerless in combat, and looks highly unbeatable. He says it's limitless. Our army, when it is guarded, an army guarded by Bhishma is not comparable at all. Now, can somebody tell me what is the meaning of not comparable?
According to him,
Simple.
he's the strongest.
Yes,
Like
he's
if
the
he's the
strongest, isn't
principal.
it? It's
Yeah.
so, and it cannot be compared. But look at Duryodhana, he immediately compares it and he makes who is equal. We will see in the next line. He says, Paryaptam tvidamete sham balam bhima abhirakshitam. He makes a comparison of Bhishma with Bhima. In his next line only he makes a difference. He's still having insecurity. He wants to show Bhima is so weak. Bhima is not so strong. That is what he says. You see, with Bhishma as guardian, our army is unmatchable, peerless in combat, and looks highly unbeatable. As against the army that Bhima has guarded, his side appears less formidable and limited. So he says, see, compare this uncomparable army of Bhishma with the army of Bhima. Bhima's army looks weak in comparison, is what he says. Now, the next shloka, we see more the insecurity of Duryodhana. He makes a big blunder. He could have just kept quiet. But arrogance does not allow a person to keep quiet. He could have just been
Hmm.
a Guru Dronacharya, lead, decide what is the right way to move forward. Let Bhishma take his own position. Let him, if he wants to alone go and destroy, let him destroy. But look at this, the commander, the arrogant commander is commanding his own guru also. And everybody, because of their attachments, they have to listen. That's why attachments are a big danger. Let us see what happens. He says, Ayaneshu cha sarveshu Yata bhagam avasthitaha bhishmamevabhirakshantu bhavantaha sarva evahi. He says, singular order. I, as your commander, I tell you one only. He says, what is that order? Bhishmamevabhirakshantu bhavantaha sarva evahi. It's like telling, protect the sun from becoming too hot, or from protecting the sun from a fire. It's pointless, isn't it? But he says, no, the instruction is protect Bhishma to everybody, he says. And so to all of you, I thus request and ask to perform this singular and important task. Stand your ground during the battle and protect the Reverend Bhishma, whom we so respect. So he's telling every single person, including his guru, I have one order and instruction. Protect Bhishma. We respect him so much, right? So we are going to protect him. Stand your ground. This is a great military blunder also. So his resources are now being channeled. It is going to become a defensive position, protecting Bhishma, who does not need protection. Can someone just tell me what could be the reason why Duryodhana did this? It is a very clear blunder. Somebody like me who does not know anything about war strategies can also find that this is a very unnecessary mistake. But why did Duryodhana do it? Anybody? What do you think? Just let's hamper a guess. Let's try. Yes.
Again,
Out of fear.
Okay, Abhaji says out of fear. Muralidharji is saying something. Yes, sir.
yeah, arrogance. In a way, he's trying to display that he commands the army and he can
Yes.
deploy army to
Yes.
someone's
This is
protection.
arrogance. And also, one thing you would understand, people who are arrogant also have a great insecurity.
Yes.
He is insecure despite having all the strength. He says, what
Overconfidence.
if? Yes, somebody wants to add something? Yes, please.
Overconfidence.
Yeah, overconfidence and also biggest fear. What if something happens to Bhishma? Will I become vulnerable? No, no, I can't afford to become vulnerable. Not at all. And this insecurity is what creates this. And a lot of times, this is what we see. Even if people have power, no, they're afraid of losing power. And they do a lot of illogical things in that arrogance and what we call lust for power. That is what happened here to Duryodhana. He's made a blunder. But what is everybody doing? What are all the elders doing on the Kauravan side? They have no voice. They have no choice. Their attachments have made them compromised. With these attachments, they are not able to, even if they know what is right, they keep doing what is wrong and then they serve Duryodhana. This is the danger of attachment. Again and again, we keep getting different reminders. Even before Krishna begins teaching the Bhagavad Gita officially, in the Gita, we see different examples. Let's see. Then begins what is the beautiful Shankhanad, the beginning of. Anybody here has blown a conch? Yes.
I did.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
Murli
I
ji
did.
says, Jai ji, Anisha ji, Anita ji has said yes. Can somebody just tell me something about what's your experience or how does it feel when when you blow that conch? It's something to try actually. If nobody has done it, please do try. It is a lovely skill to have to learn and master. Yes, anybody?
So I feel very aligned and grounded. Whenever I
Okay.
blow the conch, I
Yes.
just feel I'm just connecting to something, so that's how I feel.
It fills you with some kind of energy, isn't it? You feel it's like almost the chest goes up and you feel a kind of some kind of the vibrations spread something, isn't it?
And for a longer time, it's not just that 1 second. I mean, that
Yeah.
waves you
It
feel is continuing for some more seconds even after you stop blowing it.
okay. Right, right. And you have one conch or two conches. How many do you have?
I have one that I use for blowing and one for puja.
Okay, one for puja, another. And both are different, isn't it?
Yes, yes,
Have you tried blowing in both?
yes,
So different sounds come out from it, isn't it?
yes.
So
And
depending
you
on the
feel
size,
also different.
yes, the feel also is different. Yes, that was something very special, and that is why before the battles, all these yodhas they had a conch. Each of their conch was different. We'll see the names of some of the conches also. in the Pandavan side. But let's now see the Shankhanad is about to begin. Um, but again, there is this aspect of sound. Sound has, these vibrations. These vibrations of sound have a difference. It's not just in Bharat. Even across the world, when battles would take place, there would be trumpets, there would be different sounds being made. Sometimes, what is the need for making these sounds? Anyone? It is for
To set the
yes,
mood,
Jayji. Yes,
to
Vijayji, what
set
did you
the
say?
mood, to set the mood.
Okay, Vijayji says to set the mood. Okay, Jayji, yes sir.
Warnings. Warnings.
Okay, Preetiji says warning.
To
Yes,
inspire others.
yeah, to inspire your side and probably strike fear on the other side, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, that is exactly what this was done. And let us see. Tasya sanjana yanharsham kuravruddha pitamaha simhanadam vinadyochaihi shankham dadmau pratapavan. Grandsire Bhishma, the Kuru clan's eldest, whose very presence enthused even the strongest. Like a king lion, he sent out the fiercest roar, and the sound of his battle conch sparked a furor. I'll repeat, Grandsire Bhishma, the Kuru clan's eldest, whose very presence enthused even the strongest. Like a king lion, he sent out the fiercest roar, and the sound of his battle conch sparked a furor. Yes, admin has reminded me. 4 minutes. Thank you. Yes. So Kuru clan's eldest was given the first man, the first saman. That first conch would be blown by Pitamaha Bhishma. And how was Pitamaha Bhishma? He was somebody, even a strong felt more powerful in his company. That was his aura. Such was his aura. And so we can just imagine his, white mane. Pitama Bhishma gives out that Shankhanad. It's a Simhanad. It was like a roar of a lion, and that spread such vibrations everywhere. This aspect of sound and vibrations affecting psychology, this is something which has already been studied across the world, and even our NGO has had the opportunity of studying the effect of rhythmic Sanskrit sounds on children with special needs. We saw transformations because that is the power. A right sound can, stimulate. A right sound can also raise a person's consciousness. Same way, a person who's very calm can get disturbed also by a wrong sound. So the power of sound is there, and that was being used by all of these warriors. What happened immediately? They got the signal after the Shankhnad of our Pitama Bhishma. Everybody on the Kauravan's side began तथा शङ्खाश्च भैर्यश्च प्रणमान खगोमुखाः सहसैवाभ्यहन्यन्त सशब्दस्तुमुलोऽभवत्. Next echoed cymbals, conches, and drums, and all the horns, trumpets, and kettle drums, all at once in a singular cohesive sound, and their noise proliferated a tumult around. I repeat once more. Next echoed cymbals, conches, and drums, all the horns, trumpets, and kettle drums, all at once in a singular cohesive sound, and their noise proliferated a tumult around. So there were so many instruments. All of them began their sounds at one time. And what happens when too much sounds play at one time? It becomes a noise, isn't it? It becomes like a singular sound, and that sound is proliferating what is called tumult, Tumult. Anybody can tell the meaning of this word? Anyone? Yes?
Tumult.
Yes, sir.
The meaning of the
Yes, sir.
confusion and sound melee.
Confusion and some kind of chaotic, some kind of discord, isn't it? Sir, could you tell me the Sanskrit word for this? If you'd like to guess.
Tumulo Bhavat.
Yes, tumul. The word is so similar to the English one, isn't it? Tumult. This is tumulo bhavat. So that sound was that sound where all these sounds came together. This was probably the happiest moment for our Dhritarashtra. He's like, my beta is going to do well. Look at this. This is the very nice feeling, seeing the strength of the Kauravan side. But our Sanjay is not the one who is going to keep quiet. Though Sanjay is on the side of Dhritarashtra, time and again in the Bhagavad Gita, we will see whose side is he on is the question we will ask. Because now immediately he says, like friends say, Abhi picture baki hai. So immediately he says in the next shloka, he says, Tataha shvetair haye yukte mahati sanandane stitau madhavaha pandavaschaiva Divya Shankho Pradadmatuhu. Somebody else is now coming into the battlefield. He's introducing. He's introducing our Krishna and Arjuna. He says, don't get so happy. Now Krishna and Arjuna are entering. And how is he describing it? Look at the beautiful description our Sanjay gives. Tataha Shvetairha Yayukte Mahati Syanandane Stitau Madhava Pandavaschaiva Divyau Shankau Pradadmatu. He's even calling their conscious divine. He's calling the chariot. Yes, Chitraji, thank you for the reminder. We're just completing with this entry of Krishna and Arjuna today. So then, in a magnificent chariot drawn by horses white, Arjuna and Krishna came into my sight. Both sounded together, their conches divine, seated in their vehicle, splendid and fine. So, the beautiful chariot driven by white horses. That was the chariot. And who was the charioteer? Krishna. So the Raja has become the charioteer. He says, okay, not only will I counsel you, I will be your Sarathi. It's a very symbolic aspect. Because I will show the direction, I will lead you. And he comes as a charioteer. But just imagine Narayani Sena on the other side, the great emperor of the other empire is there, and yet he becomes a Sarathi. That is why Krishna is a very interesting character. And as we start learning to him, we don't think he's just a character and we start worshipping him for his karmas, for his works, for what he does. So here he is. Arjuna and Krishna come into my sight. Both sounded together, their conches divine, seated in their vehicles, splendid and fine, both looking so royal, so regal. Even their conches are emanating a divine aura. That is what Sanjay says. So, with this, we stop at the shloka number 14 of the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna and Arjuna have now officially entered into the battlefield. We will see what's going to happen. So with this, we stop. Every session, whenever we study the Gita, at the end, we would try to have a short summary of what we understood or what we can take home. So that will come from the participants. So can somebody just share? It doesn't have to be in a sequence. Whatever you feel, yeah, extempore. You can just share. What is it that we can take home? Anybody?
Attachments makes us vulnerable.
Okay, attachments make us vulnerable. And who is the best guru for us for this attachments making us vulnerable?
Dhritarashtra, the blind man.
Dhritarashtra himself, isn't it? Yes, they say that is why it is said sometimes. Durjanam prathamam vande sajjanam tadanantaram. The wrongdoer will tell you what not to do. A guru sometimes
Yeah.
will tell a lot of beautiful pravachans. They'll fall on one ear and go away. So the wrongdoer. So Dhritarashtra has taught us one thing. No, no attachments. Yes, ma'am. Anybody else would like to add something?
I
Yes, please.
thought it was about avoiding war. Then you
Yeah.
also mentioned that people shift sides when the war happens.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if you are on the right side, there will be lots of opposition on the other side. So,
Yes.
five
Yes.
Pandavas versus the 101,
Yes.
and
Yes.
the power of the word, whether the
Absolutely.
word that you give and understanding the literal meaning of the word. So, when he
And the
says, I have
spiritual
to,
meaning,
yes,
meaning of spirit of it, isn't it? Yes. I
yes,
think Anita ji has said a very important point. When you're going to do something right, you're going to face opposition. It is a ancient, it's almost like a rule of the world. There's a very interesting phrase the line in English. They say, nobody kicks a dead dog. It is like that. You are going to do something right, you are going to face opposition. You will face that. But it does not mean we should forget what is right and go into the Duryodhana's camp. Yes, please. Somebody else would like to add something? Yes,
Yes.
Kalaji? Yeah. Oh,
How much emphasis we have been told on arrogance,
yeah,
ego, and pride.
yeah.
So the first, whatever we have done, brings that home so beautifully that watch out for these three things at
Yeah,
all times.
let's not be arrogant. Just because I have power, just because I have wisdom. Somebody people on the spiritual path suddenly think I am evolved. You see a lot of arrogance, and that is where you see they will do blunders, like what Duryodhana did. Basic blunders. And biggest blunders, and the danger about arrogance is you will become you cannot see your own blunders. You'll keep making them. That's why Vidya Vinayena Shobhate or Vidya Dadati Vinayam. Knowledge will give you humility, which is the opposite of arrogance. Yes, Karaji?
I
Yes,
have
please.
another question. How much of the essence is lost in translation from
How much?
Sanskrit to, yeah.
No, you see, the essence of Gita is there in Sanskrit. When we learn Sanskrit, we can learn it. But better than that is to learn from Krishna only. It is the entire purpose is to connect with Krishna lifelong. We will keep learning. If you connect with one shloka today, you will get one meaning. Like you saw today, you saw this particular connection of arrogance. Tomorrow, you will see this shloka again, and in another light, it will give you another meaning. So the essence is on the it's on the person who's extracting. That's the shloka, and it's like even the most filtered, diluted version of Amrit is going to still have some percent of Amrit, isn't it? We'll try to connect and then brew our own Amrit, probably. Yes. Oh, Redji, Harshaji was adding something, is it?
Yes, from the very first shloka, the differences starts with mine.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Important parenting lesson, no?
Yes, very.
Mama kaha pandavaschaiva. No, no, no. I don't. Today I may have taken a decision in favor of my child because I would say I love my child. That's not love. That's attachment. And just remember, I don't want one more Mahabharata in my life at all. So Mama kaha pandavascha vasudhaiva kutumbakam. We should be able to see this. And later on in the Gita, we will understand why this universal principle is required. A new consciousness is got and new experiences of the divine also can be got only when you are able to widen yourself beyond your limited perspective. So that is one important thing. Anything else anybody wishes to add?
Second birth.
Okay, yes, Dvijottam. Yes, ji. What would you like to add about that, Preeti ji?
Um,
In our life, we should. This is sometimes a new birth. It is in our control, isn't it? Sometimes we can choose if we aspire very strongly. Everyone can become a Dvija, isn't it? Everyone. The aspiration for knowledge, if we have it, we have an awakening. It would create, it is like that aspiration should be strong. We will receive it. We'll see that in the Gita, though. But at least we saw our Dronacharya was a great, though he was on the wrong side, he was a great teacher who had shown the way to so many people. That greatness is never going to be forgotten at all. Certainly. So I think with this, if anything else needs to be added, or
Also,
we- yes, Ji.
if no matter how strong the other side is, if you have divine with you counseling you and you follow the dharma, you know,
Yeah, yes,
it
Ji.
makes all the difference.
It makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Yes. But whether we realize it making a difference or not, that is a big thing. We'll have to see if Arjuna is going to be very happy that he has got Krishna, or is he going to curse, hey Bhagwan, why did I take Krishna? Or Krishna, why did you come here? Or what did we do? We'll see exact words of Arjuna. What is he going to say? So as of now, we're just entering into the Gita. The Gita's real pravachan begins when Krishna starts, but Krishna has to wait to start because Arjuna is not ready to receive initially. He is busy venting out. So let's see. We stop here at the shloka number 14. We will continue. Please feel free to, if some of you are taking notes, please feel free to share screenshots of your notes for other participants. There can be exchanges, there can be meaningful exchanges during our sessions where we can all get to learn. I'll also get to learn newer perspectives. And that is entirely the purpose to bring into our life the Gita, because once it is said, carry the Gita once and then the Gita will carry you around everywhere. So let us try to read this scripture in its essence. So let us conclude now with the Shanti Mantra. Looking forward to this next shloka tomorrow. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Hari Om Tat Sat. Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Namaskar. Punarmilam. See you tomorrow. Namaste. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna ji. Namaskar.
Namaste.
Thank you.